Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a quiz in Scratch. So the idea is that this video will be split into 4 sections. The first section I will show you how to make a simple question. The second stage is I will show you how you can add a score to your quiz. And the third stage is I will show you how to get Scratch2Cat to say the correct answer if you get the answer wrong. And the fourth stage is I will show you how to make multiple questions for your quiz. Okay, let's get started. Now I'm going to start off with going to events and I'm going to drag a when green flag clicked block across. This means that when I click on the green flag up here, the quiz will start. So now I need to create a question for Scratch2Cat to ask. So I go down to sensing and I drag across ask and wait block. Pop underneath the previous block, and in here I'm going to type in my question. So my question is going to be, what is the capital of the UK? Question mark. So let's see if that works. It's a good practice as you're coding to actually check that your code is working as you go along. So I click on the green flag, and there he is. He says, what is the capital of the UK? I will type in the correct answer, click on a tick, nothing happens, and that's because I haven't got any code down here. So let's fix that now. To do that, we need to go to Control, and we're going to drag across if then else block. Pop it in there, and then I'm going to get our operators block, and that's going to be the equals block, and I'm going to put it inside the hexagon just there. Now this bit is going to be checking to see whether the answer that the player has typed in matches the correct answer. So I need to get the answer the player typed in, and to do that I go back to the sensing category and I drag this answer block across and pop it in the first oval. And here I write the correct answer. Now I want Scratch2Cat to actually say whether I got the answer right or not. So to do that I go up to looks and I want to use this say for 2 seconds block twice. Pop it in there. And also going to put it down here as well. Okay, now the first one, this is when I get the answer right. So I will say correct. And down here, this else part of the if then else statement is when I get the answer wrong. So I'm going to type in wrong. Okay, let's try running this question. Click the green flag. What is the capital of the UK? Type in London. Click on tick. Correct. And let's do it again, but this time I'm going to get the question wrong to see if that bit is working okay. So I'll type in Paris this time. I got it wrong. Great. Okay, so that is the first stage, creating a simple question. Now let's make this a little bit more interesting by adding a score. So to add a score, we have to use the variables category. So we click on that, and we're going to make a new variable, and I'm going to call it score. Then click on OK. Make sure we leave this as for all sprites. Okay, now we've got a new variable here, the one I just typed in, score. So the first thing is I want to make sure the score is always 0 when I start the quiz. It's no fun if you start a quiz and you've already got a negative number, for example. So I'm going to drag the set to variable block and put it underneath the trigger. And I'm going to make sure this is set to score rather than my variable. Okay, so every time I run the game, it will reset the score to 0. Now I think when we get the answer right, we should add 1 point to the score. So I'm going to go to change variable. I'm going to put it underneath. It could be above if you wanted to. And remember to change this to score, and we'll leave this as 1. Okay, now I think let's lose a point if we get the answer wrong. So we go back and drag another change block over, and this time making sure it's score again, and down here I'm going to change this to -1. Okay, again let's run it and see if it works. Notice the score is still 0. What is the capital of London? Let's get it right first of all. Correct, and then the score should change to 1. There we are. Okay, let's run it one more time. When I click on the green flag, it resets it to 0. What's the capital of the UK? I'm going to type in Berlin. I got it wrong, and hopefully I should get a score. There we are. Okay, so now I have added a score system to my quiz. Next, let's get Scratch to actually tell me what the correct answer is. Okay, to do that, we're going to have to make a second variable. So go back up and click on make a variable, and this time I'm going to be typing in correct underscore answer. Make sure it's full right still. Okay. So I'm going to drag set correct answers to be just above the question, and I want to type in the correct answer for this question just up here. So the correct answer is London. And now, because I've created a variable which has London as its stored value, I can actually cover this up and replace it with the variable itself. So I drag correct answer and pop it in there, and this will help me later on to reduce the number of times I need to type the right answer in. Okay, now I don't need to add anything here because the person will get the correct answer, and so there's no point in Scratch the Cat telling the person what the answer is. But this is where it's useful to put it in the wrong answer. So I'm going to go to operators, and I'm going to use a new block, which is the join block. So I'm going to pop it inside the oval, and I'm going to do it one more time. So I've got a nested block there, and here I write wrong space. The answer was, then I'm going to put space again, then I go back to my variable, and I'm going to drag a correct answer into the second oval, and in the third oval I'm going to simply put a full stop. Okay, so let's see if this works. Green flag. What's the capital of the UK? I'm going to get it wrong by saying Berlin. Click on a tick. Wrong. The answer was London. It works. Great. Okay, now we can do a few more things. We can actually duplicate this question multiple times. Let's see how we do that. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see more of my code. Now, to make this quiz have more than one question, it's really simple. All I have to do is duplicate some of the blocks for each question. So that needs to be from here. So all of this is for one question. So if I want to duplicate it, all I have to do is go to the top block in that list, right click and choose duplicate. There we are. That's my second question. I can put underneath and now put it back up the top. Go a little bit and I can change my second question now. So this is going to be, what is the capital of France? Now remember, I'm going to change this to be Paris, and then hopefully it'll work. Green flag. Capital of the UK, London. Correct. What is the capital of France? Notice it's changed the correct answer variable to Paris. I'm going to type in Berlin to get it wrong. Wrong, the answer was Paris, and I should lose my point. There we are. Okay, and that was how we add a second question. Remember, every time you want to add a new question, just duplicate where it says set correct answer to. That'll be your point that you need to look for. Okay, another question go down there. Let's do one more question. This is going to be, what is the capital city of Spain? We type in Madrid above. Okay, now before we run this, what we could also do is get Scratch the Cat to actually say the final score at the very end. So to do that, all you need to do is go up to looks and grab one of those save blocks again and put it right at the bottom. And then we're going to be using that operator's join block again. So we have one, we're going to have a second one. And then here we say your final score is space. Go to variables and drag score down. And then after it, just put an exclamation mark. Let's run it. What's the capital of the UK? I'm going to say London. I'm getting all of them right this time. Correct. What's the capital of France? Paris. I'm doing pretty well here. Correct again. And what's the capital of Spain? Let's say Madrid. I think I could be right. Yep, correct. And your final score is 3. Brilliant. The last thing you want to do is you'll want to hide the correct answer so the player can't actually see it. To do that, just go up to the variables and just tick the little box next to the variable and it will hide it. You can probably hide the score as well. Okay, and there is our quiz. All done. You can make as many questions as you want, Just make sure that you change the correct answer variable each time. Have fun, and don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe if you like this video. Goodbye.